Hi everyone. Well, I would love you to join me over the month of June in my weekly newsletter. If you haven't signed up for it, then please do. And also do my symptoms quiz, which is on the website if you haven't done that. Over the month of June, I'm going to focus in my newsletter on lifestyle solutions for menopause. There's so much emphasis these days on medications and pharmaceuticals and supplements, but there's also things that we can be doing around our lifestyle. And by lifestyle, I mean, what are we eating? How are we exercising? And what are some of the daily habits and routines that we can start to change as we come through our menopause years? I know that as I reached my early 50s, I was so troubled with hot flushes, not being able to sleep. I had heart palpitations, sore joints and muscles, and yes, I was buying lots of supplements, and I was also on HRT at the time. And I realized that after, looking at a lot of the evidence, particularly around some of the nutritional changes that I should be making, and certainly the exercise changes that I should be making, I realized that there wasn't enough emphasis on lifestyle solutions throughout our menopause transition, and that we've kind of been forgotten about in terms of the research. I also was starting to, as part of my doctoral studies, I was very aware of the academic literature and the health literature that has been going on for the last 30 years that really emphasise the changes in health that occur in our post-menopause years, in our mother's generation. And I think that many of us have seen that over the years, and we've seen this decline in function. We've seen, changes to weight and certainly changes to health with a lot of women who we know who've been part of our lives, older women. And it's been really interesting because women in their 50s have really been forgotten about, or really from 45 right through to 65, we've been forgotten about in terms of the academic literature. But the great thing is that is changing now as the baby boomers are getting older and into their 60s. There's a realization that we've got a lot more living to do. Women live longer than men. So I became very interested certainly from an academic perspective about why Western women primarily head down into cardiovascular changes as they go into postmenopause, and certainly breast cancer is up there, and certainly all the other health problems as well, particularly osteoporosis is another big one. So what I want to do over the month of June is to bring the research to you and bring some stories to you and some articles to you that show you that it doesn't have to be that way. But our 50s is a vulnerable time for health changes. Some of you might have found that already, and you're just not feeling yourself. And it doesn't matter if you're on HRT or antidepressants or other medications and supplements. We also can be changing our lifestyle. We can be changing things up a bit around our diet, around our exercise, and certainly around managing stress. So I'm really looking forward to bringing some of those articles for you throughout the month of June. I'm going to have an absolute focus on some lifestyle solutions to share with you that are evidence to help us from perimenopause to menopause right through to postmenopause. I'm Dr. Wendy Sweet. My PhD is in women's health and aging. I've focused on the menopause transition, and you can read about me on the website, My Menopause Transformation. I've got fabulous 12-week lifestyle change programs, and I interact with women in my private coaching community. Thousands of women from around the world have joined me, and it's such a privilege to bring the lifestyle evidence solutions to them and the evidence, and help them make sense of all of our menopause symptoms. For a long time now, our symptoms have been looked at in isolation, but that's not how the body works. The body works, and it's all about balancing up not only the hormones, but thinking about what is affecting, how our menopause transition is affecting other organs and tissues around our body as well. And for those of you with sore joints and muscles, you know what I'm talking about, or for those of you who've got high cholesterol or palpitations, you'll understand that as well. So join me for the month of June. I'm going to be focused on lifestyle solutions, and I'll give you some really great practical tips as well. And if you haven't done my masterclass on menopause, then jump into that, have a listen to that, and it'll give you an overview of how we can just really think about our symptoms and put them into the context of what's going on with our lifestyle, and how so many of us arrive in menopause feeling so overwhelmed with our symptoms. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you can sign up to my newsletter, do the symptoms quiz, and listen to the masterclass on menopause.